No sweat. Bear with me 1 second, Israel. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Ashab Thumb, Yahweh Shemar Thumb Bashim Yahushua. I'm preaching officer 5,000. You die, hold it down to a 12 shield. General MAHAYAMAN gets here. Understand, Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman. Now is the time more than ever, Shabar, to come out of the world, to come out of this wicked society. You got to understand, man, America does not give a damn about us, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. The only way that we have a hope to even think we can make it, because that's the problem, my Bob. We think we can make it in the oppressive society. We think that it's all right that we can live a free, white, and 21 lifestyle, but that's not what we are supposed to do. Our God told us this. If I could, Shabar, give me Romans 13:11. I bow hold Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. Got a lot going on right now. We'll talk about, you know what I mean, what's going on in the world. Everybody is up in arms and talking about the remake of The Color Purple. Let me tell you something. Films like that in the Bible is hard to sit through. Hard to sit through, because if you sit through it, right, you'll realize, man, the attack on brothers is absolutely real. And the attack on sisters, because they try to tell you, Black woman, Latino woman, First Nation woman, that you can only find love with each other. And that's a lie. And that is a lie. They're pushing that alternative lifestyle on our people. They're pushing, you know what I mean, brothers to be with brothers, sisters to be with sisters, because they do not want them Black, Latino, and First Nation households getting back together. Getting back together under the natural order that the Lord wanted it to be. Precept for that is in 1 Corinthians 11:3, where the head of the man, you know what I mean, is Christ. And the head of every woman is the man. And the head of Christ is the Most High. That is the natural order of things. Now, the oppressor is trying to come up against that. We see it, you know what I mean, in what he does, in his marketing, in the media. That's why we got to combat this. This is why we have to do this. Read what you got, Shabar.
God. Book of Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the times, high time to awake out of sleep.
And that, knowing the time, meaning now is the time to awake out of sleep. Now is the time to realize that we got to wake up. That we have to wake up and realize, man, that we have been lied to. That we think, oh, you know what I mean, it's all right to continue, you know what I mean, in all of the wickedness of America. Like right now, they're getting ready to say, celebrating their New Year, Shabar. When how the hell can this be the new year? How can this be the new year when we are in the dead of winter? The new year is around the time of Passover. That is when the new year starts. In the month of Abib, Passover is the new year. The new year is in the springtime. The new year is not, you know what I mean, January 1st. It is not. I pray you understand. Now, read it again from the top, from y'all.
God, Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
And now it is high time to awake out of sleep. It is high time, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, to awake out of sleep, to come out of that slumber. Everybody claims to be so woke, I buy. Like we in the society right now, I buy how y'all where everybody claims to be woke, everybody claims to be conscious. Well, they are fast asleep as well. I know your Umar sound nice. I know your Charleston Whites. He's a comedian, by the way, Shabar Zaki. He's a comedian. Y'all be ready to deem any brother or sister that says anything, you know what I mean, that with some sense. And all they have to do is watch us. Don't mean that they're doing the work. It just means that they brought up a good point. But that don't mean that they are the ones that are supposed to be leaders of our people. That's the job for the priests and prophets in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yahanna. That's our job. And we have to arise and wake out of sleep. Now is the time is to come out of that slumber, to come out of that fairy tale that is called America. Because America is not a dream and a fairy tale for our people. It's been a nightmare since day one, Shabbat. It has been a nightmare. And all of the wickedness that they promote, it's diabolical. It's diabolical. You could drop that and you can go to Romans chapter 1 and 25. Lord Christ, Malak. Now, go to Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. I wanted to go here, right? We're going to get into, you know what I mean, Janus. Janus is the Roman god of new beginnings. The new Roman god of new beginnings. You know what I mean? That's where they get their new year from. That's what you're worshiping when it comes to, you know what I mean, the so-called new year, when the new year is actually in the springtime during the time of Passover. That's the real new year. But right now, it's such an attack on our people, Shabar. They want our people to celebrate New Year's. Got done celebrating Christmas. Got done celebrating Thanksgiving. They want you to live an alternative lifestyle so bad that they're turning back the clock and bringing back, you know what I mean, old diabolical films about, you know what I mean, homosexuality and alternative lifestyle with the color purple. And they try to make it seem like that's too wild. The relationship that Celie and Sugar had was beyond inappropriate. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why we have to understand this and what our God said when it comes to the alternative lifestyles, when it comes to homosexuality. Read Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind.
If a man also lie with mankind, meaning this, if a man lies with another man, or if a woman lies with another woman, go ahead.
And he lieth with a woman.
Because a man is supposed to be with a woman. A woman is supposed to be with a man. What you see right now and what they're promoting, you know what I mean, in America is evil. It's diabolical. It goes against nature, which we're going to go into in a second. Keep going.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
Both of them have committed an abomination. Both of them. And the thing is, this is what they promoting about. They tell us to call it an alternative way of living. It's just wicked as hell. When God said that both of them have committed an abomination. And our people have become so numb and accepting to it. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to be accepting to it. Not at all. Not at all. Your son and your daughter cannot be a sodomite. You cannot be a sodomite. Black woman, Latino woman, First Nation woman, black man, Latino man, First Nation man. That is not a lifestyle that our people can live. And guess what? You know, in the Bible, we're going to go into it. There's a penalty for this. Keep going.
They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely be put to what?
To death.
They shall surely be put to death. Ooh-wee. Scripture says they're going to be put to death. Now, the priest ain't coming to put you to death now. Nah, the priest ain't coming to put you to death. Now the Lord is going to deal with you. Keep going.
Their blood shall be upon them.
Their what?
Their blood shall be upon them.
Their blood shall be upon them. How is your blood upon you? How is your blood upon you? I'll tell you how your blood is upon you. Monkeypox, HIV, AIDS. That's that monkeypox, Shabar Zaki, is a rough situation. That's a rough spot. I watched the devil's face decay. Man, I was on TikTok in the bar, and this one devil, his whole face. Could you imagine your body decaying because you want to be a deviant while you alive? That's a rough situation. His nose fell off. All because you want to delay with Steve. That's a rough spot. You can't live that lifestyle if you black or Latino or First Nation. That's why what they try to promote in Color Purple is so wicked. It is so evil and it's so wicked because you're telling our sisters that you can only find real love with each other. And that is a lie. That is a lie. How do you know? Because outside of us building, you know what I mean, these families back up, brothers and sisters are still having babies in the world. They still having babies in the world. And it just goes to show you, man, that the attack on our people is so strong because they do not want us, you know what I mean, to come back together as a family. That's why they put the abortion clinics out there. That's why they demonize brothers. That's why they over-sexualize sisters, you know what I mean, and want us to live that alternative lifestyle. We can't do that. They said our blood, you know what I mean, our blood will be upon your head. And it is with that monkeypox, that HIV. Drop down to verse 26, I Bob.
Oh God. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 40, verse 26.
This is why you can't live the lifestyle of the oppressor in America, of the oppressor anywhere. Why you can't live the lifestyle of any of these heathens and accept any of their philosophies and their way of life. For this reason, read.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
The Bible says, and ye shall be holy unto me. Meaning if you are Latino or First Nation or Black, guess what? You are holy unto the Most High. You are separate. That's what the word holy means. The word holy means to be separate, set apart. Ye shall be holy unto me. Separate, read.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
For I, the Lord, am holy. Meaning God is separate. God does not love everybody. That's a lie that they've been telling you, Jonathan. God don't love everybody. That is nowhere to be found in the Bible. God only cares about our people. Shalom, boy, Lord of Christ. He only gives a damn about that Black man and woman, that Latino man and woman, that First Nation man and woman. Read.
And have severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. Meaning this, you know what I mean? What does it mean to sever you? If my arm gets severed from my body, it's no longer attached. No longer attached. No longer attached. Read it again from the top.
Oh God. And ye shall be holy unto me.
Keep going.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
Mm-hmm.
And have severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. Our God severed us from the oppressor, severed us from the African, severed us from, you know what I mean, the East Indian, the Arab, and all of these different heathens. You looking at them like they have, you know what I mean, a better way of life than we do. They do not. Some of y'all look at the Orientals in Moab, Shabar, and think that their lifestyle is so much better, that they have this well of knowledge and wisdom, you know what I mean, that we have to aspire to. When they eat anything, you looking at the Arabs and their culture. I saw a tweet by Meek Mill, you want to he was talking about how 60% of Philly don't celebrate Christmas because they Muslim. That is a damn lie. I know Muslims right now that just got done celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, their birthday, the whole thing. They ain't no different than your Christians. The only ones in Philly that did not celebrate New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all of these wicked holidays is the brothers and sisters in the Israelite school of UPK. I pray you understand. Our God told us that we have to be holy, set apart, because he is holy. He's set apart. Our God don't give a damn about everybody. That's why he severed us from other people. That what?
That ye should be mine.
That ye should be mine, because we belong to the Lord. We belong to the Most High. You want to find? Can you give me Romans chapter 1 and verse 25, Bubba Prashad? Romans 1 and 25. And I'll ask you to hold that Shabar. You can give me Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Okay. You want to find? Let me get Romans chapter 1 and verse 25. General MAHAYAMAN to be here shortly. Got any type of questions? You know what I mean? Type them in the chat. First, we're going to go to Romans 1 and verse 25. Let me know when you got it.
I got it. The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who told us that it was all right, you know what I mean, to live an alternative lifestyle? Who told us that it was okay to be a Christian, to be a Muslim, you know what I mean, to celebrate New Year's in the dead of winter, Nathaniel, to celebrate Valentine's Day and Christmas and your birthday and Thanksgiving and every other evil, wicked vice? Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who told you that pork was the other white meat when God said pork was an abomination? Who told you that being a homosexual was an alternative way of living when God said that was an abomination unto him? Who changed the truth of God into a lie, Reed?
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
How do you worship and serve the creature more than the creator? I'll tell you how. I got into it with my mother the other day. I'm sitting there talking to my niece and my nephew, Shabar, because they asked me some questions about that Christmas tree, and I was breaking it down to them. My mother's like, well, you know, I don't worship no tree. I don't do none of that. I'm like, and you claiming to be this God-fearing woman, but right here in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, it's telling you you're not supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to put that tree in your house and decorate it, and deck it. You know what I mean? You have no idea, you know what I mean, that was even in there. But the excuse is, God knows my heart. I do it for the kids. The Most High don't want to hear that. The Most High does not want to do that. The oppressor try to guilt you into being a bad parent, you know what I mean, or a bad brother or sister if you don't conform to his lifestyle and his way and his customs. And that's why the scripture is saying, who changed the truth of God into a lie? The truth of God is that Christmas is wrong. New Year's is wrong. All of these different holidays of the oppressor is wrong. The way he lives is wrong, especially with that alternative lifestyle. He's the one that changed the truth of God into a lie. And God is worshiping and serving the creature more than the creator. You're not listening to the Most High, because if you was listening to the Most High, you'd be here. You'd be here in the U.P.K. You'd be rocking it out with us. But you'll rather serve the creature. You'll rather go and check out the color purple. You'll rather go out there and be a deviant. You'll rather go out there and eat anything that you can catch. That's what Moab do, Shabar. He eat anything that he can catch. If you can't run away from Moab, that's your rear end. Keep going.
Who is blessed forever.
Who is blessed forever, read.
For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections.
Listen, for this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. What does that mean where it says he gave us up to vile affections? I'll tell you how we got given up to vile affections. You get caught up in that alternative lifestyle, wow, word. You get caught up in that, and next thing you know, you got monkeypox, you got HIV. And it was a movie I seen during the 90s, you want to you too young for that. Shabar know what I'm talking about. Shabar knows, the sisters know, called Philadelphia. Man, seeing Tom Hanks in that film was rough. And you would think, seeing that nobody would want to be gay. And nobody would want to. Like, I got a cousin, man. You know what I mean? It's funny because General House brings up his cousin. I had a cousin too. You know what I mean? That was when he died, his body was so, you know what I mean, infested, you know what I mean, and toxic because of his AIDS. You know what I mean? We couldn't even have, you know what I mean, a viewing for him. Right? They had to cremate it. That's how bad it was. You don't realize, man, like if you disobey the Most High and you do, you know what I mean, that vile stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff, you know what I mean, that the oppressor, you know what I mean, says is alternative. Being lost in his proclivities, Shabar Zakia. You'll be given up to vile affections. You'll be sitting up in a hospital bed with your nose falling off. That's a rough spot. Keep going.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Listen, even the women did change the natural use, because the natural use for a woman is to be with a man. Since you're supposed to be with a brother, you're supposed to be with that black man, that Latino man, that First Nation man. Anything else, you going against nature. I know some of y'all listen. I'm a tough critic, Shabar Zaki. I'm a tough critic. I see some brothers talking about, yeah, you know, Candace always be making some heavy points. It's hard for me because, you know what I mean? It's like you willingly spread your legs open for an oppressor. I don't know how you can do that. Same thing with that Don Lemon, who's a brother, and you willingly bend over for an oppressor man. That is insanity, Shabar. That's rough. That's a rough situation, like Nabat. That's a rough spot. That's going against nature. Because the black woman is supposed to be with the black man. Black man is supposed to be with the black woman. Latino man, you got to be with that Latino woman. You got to be with each other, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Now, even the women that change the natural use, which goes against nature. You watch Color Purple and you looking at, you know what I mean, the female cast and the characters, and you look and be like, well, goddamn. Like, this is something, you look at it through the lens of a righteous man or a righteous woman. You know what I mean? Here in the UPK, you'll look and see, man, this is diabolical. And you got some brothers and sisters. I was rapping with a sister in the world. You know what I mean? I bought her. She was telling me how evil it was. And that's rare to see. Because a lot of them flock to go see that. And it's what they push. They pushing it more than ever, especially during this day and age. Because even the women that changed the natural use, now you want to be a lesbian, you want to be bisexual, you want to be part of the LGBTQP. The P is for pedophilia. It's going to be added sooner or later. You can't get caught up in that. And we reading this out the New Testament too, Shabar. We in Romans 1 and verse 26. Even the women that changed the natural use of that, which goes against nature. Because you being with another woman goes against nature. It's not how God intended it to be. Keep going.
And likewise, also the men.
Likewise, that's a rough spot. Likewise, also the men. Also the men. Now you got brothers, you don't want to be with sisters no more. You want to be with a brother. And some of y'all gonna get upset, but I don't give a damn. A lot of y'all, you know what I mean? What's the nice thing to call them, Shamar? Y'all conscious community leaders, they starting to look more feminine each and every day. I don't know about y'all, man. Umar is starting to look more gay every day. Ever since, you know what I mean, that stuff that was going down with academics Shawana done, I'm like, God damn. brother selling out and bending over. Just saying, not saying he did, but he's just looking more feminine each and every day. And that's what they want. That's what they want out of us, black man, Latino man. They don't want you to be a strong brother. They don't want you to be out there with the sisters. They want you to get with each other. Likewise, also the men. Now you don't want to be with a sister. Now you want to be with another man. Where brothers like Lil Nas X and Salty Santana should be ostracized. You should be ostracized. You know what I mean? And the sad thing is, you know what I mean? Here in America, that's promoted. Well, homosexuality should be frowned upon. Interracial marriage should be frowned upon. You know what I mean? The dealing and selling and using of drugs should be frowned upon. Like it should be a shame. Like that's what needs to come back to White Bob. Shaming brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, for that wickedness. Like it's not acceptable, and it never was acceptable. It was unlawful during the time of Adam, and it's unlawful today. Nothing has changed. Keep going.
Also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust, one toward another.
Now you burning in your lust one towards another, and that is what they promote here in America. America is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, modern day Babylon. This is what they want. This is what they want. And that's why we have to break that mold. We are breaking that mold. This is the only place of righteousness for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I know our people are trying to find their way, trying to find that path. You know what I mean? But the only way to do it is by coming up in here. Can't start your own organization. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you can't start your little fake Israelite group. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You're not supposed to join the Purple Police. You're not supposed, you know what I mean, to go out there and continue to be up in that church, in that mosque, because all of that is acceptable. It's unacceptable here because this is a place of righteousness here in the UPK under commanding General Yahanna.
Right.
You can't be a deviant in here. You can't love the oppressor or love these heathens in here. I pray you understand. In here, you got to do the right thing. And doing the right thing is keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and having faith in our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, known as Jesus Christ. And the thing is, as a Black man, Latino man, and First Nation man and woman, here's the problem that we all suffer from. We have become comfortable slaves here in America. We have become very, very comfortable here to where they can just do and treat us any type of way, and there's really no pushback. The only pushback is the I.S.U.P.K under command of General Yahanna. Nobody else is pushing back. The church don't push back. How do you know the church don't push back? It just came out that your pastor, your bishop, be at the Diddy parties, Jonathan. Do you know what goes down at the Diddy party? That's a good thing, brother. That's a great thing. You don't need to know. You don't need to know. Ask yourself this question. Why is he there, Shabar? Why is he there? Talking about, have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed up? I'm just like, excuse me, bro? Like, God damn, they not even hiding it no more. They not even hiding it. And it was so it reminded me so much of Eddie Long, because when he got up there, what did he say? I know who I am. We know who you are too. You're gay. You're gay. You're gay. Sloppy. You gotta catch me that. You gotta catch me. I was getting ready to go up the deep end. You a sodomite. And that's an evil thing to be.
Oh, what God? Oh, God.
Wrap it up. Get it on. I'm ready for your questions in the room and online. Los anuncios in 1 second. Whenever you're ready, let me know. All right. They finally reinstated my TikTok yesterday. Oh, sign Christ. Let's try to keep it up this time. All right. Whenever you're ready to go, you guys let me know, all right?
Go. Questions.
I want to show this.
So you have questions?
Oh, come on. Sorry.
Okay, hold on. I think I got it. I think I did already.
Go for Jan.
I can dig it. No sweat. All right. Let's get it on.
First question. This is from Sabak Koran. He said, Shalom, can I get a general breakdown of 2nd Ezra 13 and 52?
No problem. 2nd Ezra 13 and 52. You got it.
Come.
Someone read it for the brother, all right?
Come, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and 52. And he said unto me, like as thou canst neither seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea, even so can no man upon earth see my son or those that in the daytime.
This is 2nd Ezra. Let me go up 2 verses, all right?
Come. 2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 50.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall we show them great wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 51. Then said I, O Lord, that bearest rule, show me this. Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea?
I appreciate you. This is speaking about Christ, Doc, for time's sake, all right? This is a Old Testament prophecy about the coming of our King, Jesus Christ, all right? Who we know his true name is Yahawashi. So just remember that through this entire breakdown, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 52. And he said unto me, like as thou canst neither seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea, even so can no man upon earth see my son.
So what does that mean? Now, okay, if you're an oppressor in the world, when it says no man can see my son, which may be the purpose of the question, if you were Black or Latino, would you think that no man can see him means actually you can't see him with your eyes? That is not correct. When it says no man can see my son, the scenario is giving you the answer, just like digging down into the ocean or going deep down into the ocean. Upstairs, to other. Or what was the other part of the metaphor? Going deep into the ocean. Go ahead.
Even so can no man upon earth see my son.
Above that.
Like as 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 52. And he said unto me, like as thou canst neither seek nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea.
The deep of the sea, meaning you cannot know what's in the deep of the sea. Why? Because it's so deep down there and it's so hard to get down there and you're not a fish. So if you wanted to find out what was in the deep of the ocean, it would be extremely difficult to find out. Continue.
Come on, come. Even so, can no man upon earth see my son?
What does it mean when it says, can no man see my son? Meaning, it is extremely difficult to understand Christ. That you know to this day. It's extremely difficult. Besides all of the lies about our king, just finding out about him takes a level of discipline that most people cannot endure. People want to have fun. People want New Year's Eve. People want, black-eyed peas and collard greens and a tree in your house and gifts from Macy's and gifts you buy online. But to actually understand Christ, you would have to do what? Whoever uses the right term, I will be impressed with. You're going to have to go deep. That's the metaphor we just used just now. Whosoever can understand what is in the deep ocean. To understand Christ, you have to go deep. You'd have to go deep within yourself. You'd have to go deep into the knowledge of the understanding of who he actually is. You'd have to bypass the lies. You'd have to push away all of the baby Jesus and the manger and the Christmas stories. Everything your grandmother told you, all the lies that your mother told you as a child. You have to push by that and go deep, deep to understand Christ. Until what? Read the rest of it.
Come, sir. Come. Even so can no man upon earth see my son, or those that be with him.
Who are those that be with him? You are. The disciples in the past. You can't see us. You can't understand us. That's what the see means there. The see is slang for understand. You can't see us. You look at us and you think we're gangbangers or thugs or, some type of criminals. You see your Christian preachers, you think that they're men of God. When meanwhile, your children are safe in here and they're not safe with the preacher. You can't see us. Just like you couldn't see the brothers who served Christ in the past. You thought they were men worthy of being unalive. And all of them were unalive. Every last one of them. Because the world thought that they were the threat. They were the danger. When meanwhile, those men were the men that everyone could rely on. You can't see us. Everyone understands. Anymore.
Okay. But in the daytime.
But when?
But in the daytime.
But in the daytime is the only way you could see us. What's the opposite of the daytime? That's all you need in the back. The night. See, when it's dark, you can't see us. When darkness reigns, you can't see us. When all you know is your pleasure. All you know is birthdays, New Year's Eve, and Christmas. Well, how in the hell are you going to see us? You are in, come on. You are in the dark. You're in darkness. You can't see us. You thought for years that T.D. Jakes was a man of God. That's what you thought. You thought. Meanwhile, he's a power bottom for rappers, and you thought he was a man of God. You hate us. You think we're criminals. You think we're gang members. You can't see us. But when the daylight comes, you will. You understand? One day you will. One day you'll see us. Anything else?
That was the right question, sir.
Next.
UPK, Dr. Warren says, Lockout Warren, can I get a breakdown of Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 2 through 5?
No problem. You got it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
Mm-hmm.
For that is the end of all men.
Let me go one verse above it. All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment.
Who understands what that means? A good name is better than precious ointment. Precious ointment is like, perfume or something that makes you smell good and makes your skin feel good. That's ointment, all right? Heals cuts and wounds. It's precious, meaning it's expensive, it's rare. A good name is better than that. What is a good name? A good reputation. Oh, that's, everything. That's everything. That's something, especially when you're from the world and you grew up poor, you develop this sense of, what do people say? I just don't give a F. I don't care what nobody says about me. You've heard that your whole life, right? It doesn't matter what anybody says about me. Who cares? It matters. It matters what people think of you. It especially matters when it's true. Oh, that's everything. Your reputation, brother, is what your life is built on. It's the thing you're building up over time. The minute you walk outside your parents' home, you're building a reputation. You're building a name. So when someone says, well, something is stolen, did he do it? Oh, no, not him. Someone says, well, somebody is cheating on their husband. Someone is a whore. Is it her? Oh, never, not her. Can't be her. Has to be somebody else. It's impossible for it to be her. You build that up as you leave your parents and you begin to take your own actions and the repercussions for what you do. And that's better than precious and rare ointment. Your name means everything, brother, and it's yours. It's something you build, your actions establish it, you keep it, and you tend to it like a flower for the rest of your life. Every decision you make, every interaction you have with people builds your reputation. When you go into a store and you talk to someone, when you meet brothers and sisters, when you're walking down the street, when you're driving, you're building a reputation. Oh, yeah, I know that brother. Oh, man, that's a good brother, man. Oh, yeah, that brother helped me out when I was in the jam. Oh, no, he wouldn't sleep with my wife, not this brother here. Yeah, you can leave your kids with him. Yeah, they're safe with that brother. I know him. Yeah, I know him. My cousin, he's my cousin, or my cousin knows him. Oh, he's in that UPK. Oh, yeah, that one here, he's solid. Yeah, he's safe. That's what you want, and you tend to it like a plant. Every day, with every interaction you have with people. And that's precious, brother. That's precious. Continue.
Come. And the day of death than the day of one's birth.
And the day of death. What is the day of death? The day that you finally die. That day is better than the day of one's birth. Of course, in this world, everyone knows when your birthday is, what your sign is, as if that means any damn thing at all. What day you were born, that means nothing at all. But what does matter is the day of your death. That matters. Continue.
Come, verse 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
Can you imagine, what if everyone, instead of caring about their birthday, cared about how they would die, thought about it, and said, well, I don't want to die like that. I don't want to wrap a car around a tree while I'm drunk. That's not how I want to go. I don't want to die in prison because I did some terrible action to someone. I don't want to die of AIDS. I don't want to die of a drug addiction or drug overdose. What if you thought about it? What if it mattered to you the same way it matters that you're a Gemini or a Sagittarius or when your birthday is? That matters. That's the most important thing in the world, the fact that you're a Sagittarius. There's nothing more important than that. I get that. I understand. But you're going to die in a hospital bed of a venereal disease. That's how you die. You're going to be unalived because you slept with someone's wife. That's what the day of your unaliving will be like. If I was you, I would think about that a little more. I put a little emphasis on that. And the house of mourning is where you have the burial. You know, you go into the person's house and everyone is sad, right? That's the house of mourning. The house of joy is when you go into a house and someone has had a baby. That's the house of joy. That's the house of the birth. Well, that house of mourning is more important than that house of birth. Why? Because everyone's happy in there. Everyone's happy and having a good time. We just had a baby. Congratulations, right? But that house of death is coming for all of us. So we should put more emphasis in that. We should think about that. We should care about that. You've already been born, but your unaliving is on its way. It's coming one day. And you, in so many cases, brother, can have an absolute impact on how you go. It matters. You understand your dad? Yeah, something else.
People in verses 2.
Where we at?
Give it to.
Go ahead.
Come concept. For that is the end of all men,
Mm-hmm.
and the living will lay it to his heart.
You get that? That's what I just broke down, young brothers and sisters. The people that are alive, and they're in there, and someone is dead, and someone is unalived in a coffin. Can I say something besides unalive? Can I say perished? Someone who has perished in a coffin. This happens, I'm sure, to all of you. Most of you, it leaves your mind after the funeral because you're on drugs and you get high, and all you care about is chasing boys or chasing girls. But if you went to a funeral and you thought, my God, how many funerals have you been to and someone died of the thing you're doing? That happens where you're in a funeral and they're dead because of drug addiction. And everyone leaves the funeral and goes outside and gets high. When the person in the coffin is dead because of drugs, and all anybody can wait to do is to leave that funeral so they can go to the parking lot or go around the corner and get high. Lay it to your heart how that person was unalived, how they perished. Put that in your mind. Think about the people you know and what they lost their lives to. You do those things. You eat that pork that gives that high blood pressure and heart disease. You smoke that weed that causes you to do terrible things because your brain is under the influence of drugs. You do the things that fill up graveyards. Lay that to heart. Lay that, put that in your mind, all right? Anything else? 1 second, in the back.
I know, like, if I asked you what's something important to teach your daughter growing up, and like to teach them about shame and covering nakedness.
Yeah.
But like along those lines, who would be something important to teach your son growing up?
Okay, well, give me the flower of thy youth. That's what you need for a son. Okay, when it comes to a boy, right, what you have to give a boy, similar to, okay, a little girl, if she has nothing else, she'll depend on her body, her sexuality. If she has no marketable skills, if she has no other way to get praise or attention, she will use her body, her breast, her sex to get attention, to get money, to get everything that people need to feel good about themselves. Well, what will a boy use if he has nothing else? Violence. That's what a boy will use. A boy will use violence. You got me, just like you said. Still like it. I tried. I guess I didn't try enough. I tried for 10 minutes. what the point is, that was good for me. But the point is, a boy will use violence. He'll use violence. So you have to give this boy something that every boy needs. What else will a boy do if he has nothing else? He'll use violence, and he will be led by what? Lust. Lust. Men have, sisters, I know you don't know this, but men have monstrous sex drives. It's a girl doesn't really even get it. You don't even understand what some 15-year-old boy is going through. It's like he's a psychopath. You understand when it comes to girls? It's something that is like a heat that comes over him, and he cannot control it. And it's like an animal urge. It's like a musk ox or a hound or some animal. And that's what happens when you get 14 and 15 years old. And it just grows and grows and grows and grows, and it just will not stop. Everyone understands. So what will a boy do? A boy will let his lust lead him. And if he has nothing else, no other way to get money or praise or attention, he'll use violence for that. He'll beat people up, and then his name will be all over the high school because he knocked this guy out, or he robbed this cat, or he beat this guy up, because he wants praise and he wants attention. So if he has no other way to get it, he'll rob somebody, carry a gun into class so that he can be the man, so he can use violence to get attention, violence to get girls. Everybody understands. So what does a boy need above all things? Malak in the back. Discipline, give him a hand. That's what a young man has to have, brother. Discipline. A young man cannot do what he wants to do. That's what he has to have. If you have a son that has no ability to stop himself from doing what he wants, you're going to lose a son. That's how that works. If your son is going to have sex with whatever he wants to, and he cannot stop, you're losing your son. If your son cannot stop himself from hitting people and punching people and shooting people, you are going to lose your son because he has no discipline. What must a son have above all things? That's discipline, self-control. You understand? This, of course, is in the Bible. All right. You want flower of thy youth, and you want he to take you to the city. Go ahead. For flower of thy age, I might be incorrect about how it's worded. Go ahead.
Can we read 1 Corinthians chapter 7?
Yes.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age.
Not that one. That's for a girl. I want the one for a boy, and that's in the Apocrypha. It's basically the same phrasing, which is how you know in this precept it is not saying if a woman has her monthly, you can marry her. That's not what the flower of her age means, because a boy also has the flower of his age in the back.
Look, it's Ecclesiastes 26 and 19.
Sounds right. Go ahead. Whoever has it, you can read it. If you got it, Malak, go ahead.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound.
My son, keep the flower of thy age sound. What does it mean if someone is or something is sound? It's strong. Like the dollar is sound. This ship is sound. Sound means strong. Keep the what of thy age strong?
The flower of thine age.
The flower of thy age. What is the flower of thy age? That time in your life when your life is blossoming, right? You're not an old man. There comes a time when you're an old man and you've learned all the lessons of life the hard way. You got it. You're done now. You went and you stuck your finger in a socket and you know how you get electrocuted. You've done every stupid and evil thing. And so now you're fine because you've been to prison, because you've lost this and lost that and ruined your life 3 times over. So now you're sitting down somewhere. Now you have the ability that is what a man needs, which is so hard to do. You can sit in a room alone and shut your damn mouth. That is hard for a man. Just to sit in a room and shut the hell up. A man cannot do that. A man needs to get out there in those streets, find some action, find some tail, find some trouble, get high, get drunk. But then you go to prison and you'll learn the benefit of being able to just sit in a room and do nothing for 23 hours a day. Now I got it. Now I know how to do it. Now I can just sit here and make my peace with books and reading and get my college degree or high school diploma or GED. I can do all the things I had no self-control to do when I was the one that chose what I did with my time. But then when my oppressor chooses, I can sit down there for 23 hours a day. And I'm going back to school. And now I know how to follow rules, when to urinate, when to use the bathroom, walk on this line to get to the chow hall, walk to that line to get to the infirmary. Now I know how to follow rules. Before I got in there, I didn't know how to follow any rules. I would advise you to learn those rules on your own. The Bible calls it self-control, mastery of yourself. You understand? Keep going.
And give not thy strength to strangers.
Oh, don't do that. If you want to have a time in your life when you are blossoming as a man, don't give your strength to strangers. Don't do that. And every brother in prison is giving his strength to a stranger. Every brother with a heathen woman, every brother who has sex with some slut is giving his strength to a stranger. Now the flower of your youth is going to be wasted. All of your power and strength and might is just for nothing. It'll be used to make some other people strong. Everyone understands. Anything else? Also, you need that. You need he that striveth for mastery is temperate in all things. Temperate is the biblical word for discipline. All right, temperate. You understand? Malak, we good here or not? See me one more time, please. Go ahead. Was that it, Malak, or no? If you think you need to, it's up to you. Through us. All right, next.
Kyle Khan, Trooper Noel, he had a question, sir. He wanted a general breakdown of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 9. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden.
These are not actually trees, everyone. All right. This is a metaphor for constellations that Adam would read. The same way we read a book today or read the Bible today. This is because men of God understood the will of God and they wrote it down for us. Before there was the written language and before there was writing, Adam read the constellations and understood what they meant. He looked at them and he knew that this was communication from a superior power. And so he read them and he went to put the Garden of Eden in order with the instructions that he saw in the heavens. Everyone understands. Come on.
Why did they compare the constellations to trees?
Because they give fruit once a month. This is in the book of Revelation, the 22nd chapter. They're trees because once a month they give fruit. They go by seasons, just like a tree. There's a season when the peaches are on the tree, a season when there's no peaches on the tree. That's how constellations are and the stars are right now. That's how people can plot their way across the planet because they know what stars are in the sky during a certain time of year in a certain place. And they use those stars to go from Europe all the way to South and Central America. All right? You get the point now. What I just said is in Revelations, which gives her fruit once a month. All right? Which is where the whole worship of the astrology comes from, because there's a different constellation in the sky. Every month, this changes, and that changes at a certain season when you don't see this star. When you do see that star from this particular place, you can see this constellation, and you can't see it from this place. The Bible calls them trees in a poetic form. All right. Next.
Sister Chardina Headway, she says, may I have a breakdown of Deuteronomy 14 and verse 1?
No problem.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
Right. These are laws, right? All of these books in the beginning of the Bible specifically go into laws. Now, let me just make you fully understand it. All of these things are things that were done in Egypt, that the Egyptians did. When we left Egypt, the Most High God specifically forbid us to do the things that he knew were ungodly and against our culture when we left Egypt. The Egyptians had a practice of balding their heads for religious purposes. The Most High God forbid us to bald our heads. Like to have a head where there's a clean baldness where your hair just falls the hell out, right? That's clean. Then there's another baldness where you're doing it for looks, for status, for religion. That baldness is unclean, and we're not allowed to do that. What else would they do in Egypt? They would shave off their eyebrows for religious purposes. That's what between your eyes means. They would get rid of their eyebrows. They would get rid of their hair. They would get rid of the hair on their face and tie a fake beard onto their faces. Well, the beard you see on Egyptian statues is a fake beard. But they were completely hairless because they believed that hair was ungodly to the Egyptian gods. The Romans believed the exact same thing. The Romans believed that having hair on your face made you a barbarian because the people that spoke like Abba Gada were evil to them. And they called them barbarians because of our language. And so they shaved their faces clean and they believed it was holy to have no hair. So this is talking about shaving off your eyebrows and balding your head, which is unlawful. Everyone understands. Go ahead.
So what is the unlawful for a man, like if you're going bald or you shave yourself?
No, you're already bald. You bald. That's a clean baldness. That's in the Bible as well. It's called a clean baldness. If you want to clip them couple of hairs you have, you can go ahead and do it. They ain't got the two of them any goddamn. You'll see in a little bit. Go ahead.
Also, so would that apply to women when they like kind of like cut their eyebrows off?
Yeah, that's what it applies to. It applies to women that shave off. Now, that's a rare thing, but I think that used to happen. Do sisters still do that? Cut their eyebrows completely off? That's a rough deal. Okay, but yeah, don't do that. Okay? You want to go and get them fixed, that's lawful. You you want to go and, fix your own damn eyebrows and try to get them looking manageable, that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the Egyptian practice of having no eyebrows. You get my point? Of where, just like a bald head, where your head is bald and you have nothing on your damn above your eyes. That's unlawful. If you want to clip your eyebrows, that's lawful. You get just like clipping your hair is lawful. But balding your head is not, and balding your eyebrows is not lawful. Simple enough. Go ahead. Next.
This is from Officer Kalaka. He said, Shalom, sir. Can I get a breakdown of Genesis 32 and 32? The Israelites use this to say you're not supposed to eat the thigh of a chicken and etc.
Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 32 and verse 32. Therefore the children of Israel eat not the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh and the sinew that shrank.
Right. There is absolutely no law against eating the sinew of a chicken. The sinew of a chicken is not the thigh of a chicken. The sinew of a chicken is the ligament. Imagine if you eat a piece of chicken, it's like a ligament in there, line in there, right? There are many things like this you read in the Bible where they didn't do this in this town, they didn't do that in this town. These are not laws, right? These are things that people would do over time. They begin to do them. It's telling you where they come from. It doesn't come from the law, which is what he's saying right here. It does not come from the law, because people remember what happened with Jacob. They did not do that unto this day. Of course, Israelites absolutely do eat the entire chicken bone and not the marrow to this day, because that practice is gone, because it was never kept. It was never done again. It was never kept. It was kept for a while, then it stopped. Why? Because it's not a law. You don't have to do it. What's in the law is in the law. All the thou shalt nots. We just read one about the balding of the eyebrows and the head. You know what's unlawful? New Year's Eve is unlawful. It's an absolutely unlawful practice. Christmas is an absolutely unlawful practice. Smoking weed is absolutely unlawful. Being an alcoholic is absolutely unlawful. Being an LGBT person is unlawful. You'll read certain scriptures where the people didn't do this, the people didn't do that. Those are like traditions, and they come and go. They come and go. There's people do them for a while, then they stop because they're simply traditions. It's like there's the Passover and then there's Juneteenth. What's the difference? Do y'all know what Juneteenth is up in Philadelphia? They do that down in Texas, Juneteenth, right? The Passover is a law. You have to do it. Can you go to a Juneteenth celebration? Have fun. You can go there if you want to go there. You aren't sinning because you went to a Juneteenth festival. If they stop having Juneteenth, there's no crime. One day they can just stop having Juneteenth and forget about it, and it will be lawful. Or they can have Juneteenth every year, and it will be lawful. The Passover is not negotiable. The Passover is a law. That's the difference between this not eating the sinew, the gristle, and the chicken, and eating the gristle. Done. Next.
Small, sir. Can I get a general breakdown of Isaiah 55, verse 9 to 11?
No problem. Go ahead.
Sir. Book of Isaiah, chapter 55, and verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as rain,
Is this the point, or do I need to get to it?
Verse 9 to 11. Verse 9.
All right. He should give me the point. I got a lot of precepts. If you want to read like 4 or 5 scriptures, tell me the point of this so I can get to it, efficiently. All right. Give me the next question until he has it. Anything else?
Sister Amby says, Salaki, can I get a breakdown of Acts 28 and 3 through 6? Is this figurative, viper, snake, or spiritual meaning?
No problem. Go ahead.
The book of Acts, chapter 28 and verse 3. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand. Verse 4. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, No doubt this man is a murderer, whom thou he have escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffered.
She wants to know, is this a literal snake that bit him? Yes, this is an actual snake. This actually happened to Paul, right? When Paul was shipwrecked, when he decided to go to Jerusalem and answer the charges that the Sadducee and Pharisee had made against him because they were false. And he decided to go to court to face his charges. As he was there, he got in a shipwreck. He's in a shipwreck. People are looking at him. He's on the shore now. They washed up on shore. He got bit by a snake. When the people saw him get bitten by a snake, they knew he was an evil man, meaning that God had this snake bite him because he was evil. Continue.
Come, sir. Come. Verse 5. And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm.
The snake bit him. He said, shook his hand. The damn snake flew off his hand and went into the fire. They're sitting by a fire because they just got out of the water. And so they're warming up by a fire. As they're sitting there, a snake crawls upon him and bites him. When the snake bit him, they just knew this is an evil man. Look what happened to him. He shakes the snake off. The snake goes into the fire, and he is fine. Nothing is wrong with him. Continue.
Verse 6. Howbeit they looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly.
They're looking at him like, damn, he should swell up. He should be full of poison now, and he should drop dead because he got bitten by a snake. Continue.
Sir. But after they looked a great while and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god.
So then they're watching for him to keel over and die. But it didn't happen. And then they said, he is a god. Look what happened to him. First, they thought that God hated him. Then now, when he didn't die from this attack that they believed would have killed them, then they said, he is a god. This was an actual snake, an actual thing that happened to him, if that was your question, all right? If you need to break down on it, you just let me know, all right? Was there anything else?
That was it, sir.
Next.
Khan, sir. Also, Baraki Ali, you responded, sir.
Go ahead.
Kesalaki, General, I'm not sure I understand verse 10 where it says, for the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven that may give the seed to the sower and bread to the eater.
I'll break it down for you. Go ahead and read it. Read 9 to 10.
Also in verse 11, so you understand verse 11.
Solid. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 55, and verse 9. Mm-hmm. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, mm-hmm. so are my ways higher than your ways.
Let me just explain that. What it means is that you have things that you like to do. You like New Year's Eve. That's what you love. You don't see the evil in New Year's Eve. Do I have to go on my phone and take me about 30 seconds to find all of the murders that happened last night? Right? Raise your hand if you heard just relentless gunfire last night. Raise your hand. Oh. Just relentless gunfire. If I go on my phone 30 seconds, I'll find murders that are terrible that happened yesterday. Families that lost loved ones. Forget about the infidelity. You brothers out there married to them women in the world, Lord be with you. Because if your wife went to a party last night, your wife had sex with somebody else. That happened last night. You got some woman you met outside the UPK. A lot of you called me about your wife. She's in the world. Is she in the truth? No, she's not in the truth. If she went out last night, she had sex with another man. Just accept that. You got no proof of it, so you can't do nothing about it. But you know her friends, don't you? You see those girls, right? Well, she hangs with them. In your mind, my girl, my friend, my woman hangs with these whores. Your wife is a whore, which is why she hangs with those whores. In your mind, your wife is the one good girl in a crew of whores, isn't she? She's the one. This is Tina. She's a hoe. Sandra, she's a hoe. And my wife, she just hang around all these hoes. Your wife is one of them. That's why she's with them. Well, if she went out last night with Tina and Keisha and them, she went out and cheated on you. It happened. Last night is a terribly evil night, rooted in evil from the Egyptian Empire to the Roman Empire, has been evil, was invented for illicit sex and violence, to give the people an outlet so that the people would not overthrow the government. That's where so many holidays come from. That's where sports comes from. Governments who are in charge know that every human being has the urge for violence and sex. And they know that if you don't have a way to exercise it, you'll storm the Capitol. You'll kill all the judges. You'll kill the president and kill the congressman. So you need an outlet for your violent nature. You have football and basketball and boxing. And you have Christmas, so you can bust through the door of Best Buy and break open the doors and punch somebody in the face and snatch a TV out of their hands. So you can shoot guns in the air so that you don't shoot them at the police and at the military. So you can get all of this off your chest on New Year's Eve. And governments since Egypt and Rome have used holidays for you to push all of your lust into that holiday, and then you will be at work tomorrow. You're going to show up because your wife is going to whore on you, and you're going to shoot somebody on New Year's Eve, and both of you will be at work on time when the store opens back up. That's the point of New Year's Eve. It's to give your base urges an outlet. That's what you need. That you understand. That you like. Read it again.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth.
But you do not like the Most High's consistency in forcing you into self-discipline and making you restrict yourself from those base urges. The Most High is trying to turn you into a real human being, man, not an animal. You had your hand up? Go ahead. When? 400 in a night. Last night, right? Last night. And this is this wonderful holiday that you love. That's the point. And you don't understand why the Most High would force you to resist yourself, where you can't put your penis in anything. You can't have sex with anything. You can't smoke what you want. You can't do what you want. And in your mind, it's like, this is terrible. This is no fun. This is a horrible, horrible thing. I don't get to do what I want. Well, you also don't get to be in that coffin. You also get to have your children alive. And you don't understand it. This is the reason you don't understand it. Because his thoughts are as far above you as the sun is the earth. You don't get it. You don't understand things. You're like a monkey trying to understand clothing or brushing his teeth. You don't get it, but he does. So what you should do is just obey him. You're completely ignorant. You're led by your genitals. That's what leads you, your genitals. Your genitals push you forward in life. You're led by pleasure. Pleasure is just the only thing you care about. That's all you want. Then you should let God make your decisions because you're ignorant. Does everyone understand? All right, that's the point of this. Continue.
Verse 10. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither.
The rain comes down. Here's the point. Imagine you look up in the sky, and rain comes down. And the snow comes down from heaven, right? From the sky. The snow comes down. Keep going.
Sir. But watereth the earth.
And the snow and the rain waters the earth. The rain comes down, waters all the plants. The snow comes down and does what? Melts and turns into what? Drinking water. That's where lakes come from. Lakes come from the snow that's on the mountaintop. It sits on the mountain and it begins to trickle down as it melts. And it trickles into streams, lakes, and rivers, which is why you can always drink streams, lakes, and rivers, because it doesn't come from the ocean, which is salt water, right? The streams and the lakes and the rivers come from melted snow from mountains. We get to drink because snow comes out the sky. We get to eat food from plants and we get oxygen. 80 or 90% of our oxygen comes from plants. How do plants live? From rain that falls out the sky and feeds those plants, and now we get oxygen and food. Continue.
And make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater.
That's what I just broke down just now. That it may give seed to the sower. What is a sower? A farmer is a sower. when the Bible says you reap what you sow, meaning you plant a seed, you plant an apple seed in the ground, you're going to reap apples. What you put in, you're going to get out. A sower is a planter, is a farmer. So it gives food to the planter, to the sower, and what else?
Come on, sir. That it may, and bread, just like, and bread to the eater.
And bread to the eater. And you get to eat because rain and snow come from heaven. Continue.
Come on, sir. Verse 11. So shall my word be that going forth out of my mouth.
So shall my word be that comes out of my mouth. You think you decide who to have sex with. You decide who to eat. Well, you're going to eat and have sex with whatever heaven tells you to do. Because that's the same way you eat and drink. All of it comes from God. So why not let him make your decisions? You know what you are? You're like a fish. Who has fish tank at home? Raise your hand. Nobody has fish anymore at home, blame you. Well, it used to be people would have fish tanks. And you put some fish in it, you drop little flakes of fish down to that fish. And the fish jumps up and eats everything. And many times I look at a fish and I wonder if he knows that I am the reason he eats. And I know he doesn't. That fish probably thinks it is an effing coincidence that these flakes drop in this water. And I look at them, they don't look at me. They just eat all the food up in the top of the thing. And I drop it and go, I bet you these fish think there is no God.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
These flakes just drop down here twice a day, every damn day, by coincidence. That's you. You're eating food, you're getting snow and water and plants and animals, and you go, I don't listen to God. There is no God. I do what I want to do. Why don't you take God's knowledge the way you take his food every damn day? Take his knowledge too. It might benefit you the same way. Everyone understands. Next.
I.S.U.P.K. Columbus said, Shalom, sir. May I get a breakdown of Isaiah chapter 5 and 18?
Go ahead.
Come on, sir. The book of Isaiah chapter 5. Verse.
I think I'm good up to it. Matter of fact, Salak, you better see me. Just one finger, all right? To what?
Come on, the book of Isaiah chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity and sin as it were a cart rope.
As it were a what?
Cart rope.
Oh man. Okay, I'll give you the metaphor. A cart rope is like a cart. You're pulling a cart, right? You tie a cart to a horse or tie a cart to a cow or something, and the cow is pulling the cart, right? And so you tie iniquity to what?
Come on, sir. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords.
Drawing something is pulling something. So woe unto him, that means destruction. Destruction unto him that pulls iniquity. What is iniquity? Sin is iniquity, right? Disobeying, celebrating Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve and Christmas and Valentine's Day, which is coming up, which is also a sin. Also the worship of another God, Thuwada. He that pulls iniquity, you're pulling it, keep going.
Come. With cords of vanity.
With cords of what?
Vanity.
What is vanity? Who knows? Vanity is nothing. You're doing it for nothing. Right? So here you go. You have New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day. And you have to do it. It must be done. You can't miss one. It's important. Why? What are you getting from Christmas but debt? And helping your oppressor get more and more rich every day. You idiots out there are celebrating Christmas and then angry that the police have more guns and tanks and cars. You pay for those things with your money. You fuel the economy that uses its power against you. You fuel it and feed it every day. But you must do it. You have to do it. Why do you have to celebrate Christmas? Why? What's going to happen if you just buy your kid a gift on a random day in September or April? Why? Why do you have to do it? Why do you have to celebrate New Year's Eve? Why do you have to do it? You're doing it for nothing. at all. You're doing it because some celebrity does it. Yes, some celebrity does it, so you have to do it because you must be Cardi B. You must be LL Cool J. You must be Frank Sinatra before him. You must be all of the people who are your gods, and you just want to be like them. Well, that is doing it for nothing. There's no reason to do it at all, right? You're pulling it with a cord of vanity. Everyone understands. That's the point. Next. No problem.
Princess Reed asked, Salaki, sir, can I please get a precept that speaks on women being mindful of what they say?
Oh, forget about it. Give me 2 Timothy. Is it 1 Timothy 2 and 10? This is what you need. Learning what to say is that's a difficult thing to do. You can also go to 1 James. No, I'm sorry, just James. James 1, and let's start with James 1 and the tongue being a small member. And then we'll finish it with 1 Timothy 2 and 10. All right, let's start with that. James 1 and 5, the tongue being a small member kindled a great fire. Your mouth is the problem, virtually through your entire life, your mouth, especially with a woman, especially with you because of your emotions. Because you're so emotional, all of the problems that end up into being physical problems start with something you said, right? Virtually every fight. You can't murder somebody in Popeyes unless you get into an argument in Popeyes. You know that? You don't know that, do you? Right? The thing that ends in a double murder in Popeyes starts with what? Blow my mind with knowing the answer. Your mouth. With arguing in Popeyes over, I guess, napkins, or in McDonald's over what? Fish fillet. Right? They didn't give you ice, I'm assuming, right? You didn't get ice, your fish fillet. They're not giving you your French fries. And so because of that, you go behind the counter and curse everyone out and scream and yell because you're so angry because you ordered 2 French fries. And then that ends in a double murder in the place. Come on.
Saying, General, if I may, sir, so heavy. If you don't tip at Waffle House, that's a fight to the death.
Oh, Waffle House, that's a death wish. You go to that Waffle House and you start with your mouth about hash brown or toast, about something that means nothing. But you can't control your mouth because you can't let anybody get over on you, can you? Oh, no. Oh, no, no one should get over on you. No one should do this. There's mostly Judites in this room, right? So let me give you the word that causes more death than I can really make someone who is not a Judite understand. No one can disrespect you. Disrespect. Woo! When that happens, I ordered a French fry. I ordered a French fry and a milkshake. You ain't gonna give me my French fry. You gonna give it to me because I cannot be disrespected. A double murder on the news. And it's so embarrassing to where I'm embarrassed as a black man from a white newscaster saying how that fight started over that hot dog. It embarrasses me. I'm embarrassed sitting home. An argument that started over a chili cheeseburger ended up in the death of 2. And I sit at home and go, I'm embarrassed by this. Because I know because this chicken sandwich is so delicious that people have to die in there. Because someone got disrespected. Well, that's because of your mouth. Right? Your mouth. You say something that disrespects someone. Then they have to disrespect you. And then you have to say something louder to disrespect them. And here's the problem with women, and women have a on-purpose blindness with this. They don't know that when they disrespect a man so much that he doesn't have the words to battle them, he is ignorant and uneducated and stupid. Your man that you love so much, that you chose knowing he was ignorant. He's going to smack all the teeth out of your mouth. You're going to go home toothless. You started off with what? Just trying to show him he can't play you like that. He got you effed up. That's solid, no problem. You really told him. You told him so much, and he's ignorant and stupid and can barely read. You told him all so bad. He was trying to think of a comeback. Right? I mean, the business she's going to talk about just the terriblest things. She's going to talk about your penis, talk about your mother, talk about your fatherhood, talk about everything, and you sitting there, you this, you that. Then all of a sudden, you're stupid. You're dumb. And she's smarter than you. And all of a sudden, you got no comeback. And then I remember what I can do. I remember what I fall back on in high school. I'm going to knock all the teeth out of her head. And then when you knock all the teeth, and here's how the dominoes fall. You knock all the teeth out of her head. Baya! She falls out on the bed. She goes to grab what? Her phone. Brother, no. He goes to get her phone. On the phone, she becomes crying and calls who? Her big brother. And she tells him, he hit me. What does the big brother feel? That you have disrespected him because you hit his sister. He gets in the car and he drives over to you. Now, her brother is stupid and ignorant. He doesn't even know that you fight all the time. And she is going to take you back at the end of this fight. He's dumb. So he runs in the car over there to stop your disrespect. He gets into the house. What does he do when he opens the door? Who knows? You ain't gonna hit my sister like that. You feel disrespected. Why? Because that's your woman. And who is he to tell you what you can do in your house? I'm a man. I counsel so many ignorant idiots who think that they're manly. They think somehow that's manly. I'm a man. That's why I did this, because I'm a man. So, yes, I'm a man. Can you please bail me out, sir? I am a man. Oh, you're a man. Stay in there. That's where men are. In jail. That's where they're all at. Can you please help me get out of here immediately before the sun goes down? You're manly. Aren't you a man? You did all this because of your manhood, right? You're a manly man. You can't be disrespected. He come into your house telling you what to do with your wife. Oh, he sees her with two black eyes. You wonder why he's upset. You would never be upset, of course, if somebody blacked the eyes of your sister. You say, hey, that's his business. That wouldn't bother you at all. If someone blacked your daughter's eyes, you would just say, well, baby girl, that's your husband. Let him black your eyes. I'm sure that's what you would do, right? You're stupid. You don't know that you would do exactly what he's doing because you, her father, her brother, are all idiots. All of you are dumb. So now what happens? Triple homicide. They're in jail for the rest of your life, their lives. You're in the grave. All because I guess she went on your Facebook page and found something, or something that's stupid, or a chicken sandwich or napkins or something like that. All that starts with your mouth, right? If you want to get to the root of it and stop all of these murders, shut the fuck up. Excuse me, children. That was slipped out. Slipped out. Shut your mouth. Start there. If you could do that, you're going to save lives. Now we're going to start with that. Then we'll go specifically to women. Go ahead. The one I asked for. James. Nice and loud.
James chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridles not his tongue.
Yeah, that's it. If any man of you in you or with you seem to be religious, when it says seem to be religious, when you read that word, the word religion, what is religion? I forget what it means. I can't recall, but it's something else. It doesn't say religion. I want to say it's spiritual or something that means you have rules that you live your life by, but I can't recall the term. All right. but it's not religious. Go ahead. It's like some word that means rules. Continue.
But deceiveth his own heart.
If you claim to be a person of conduct and rules, but you can't watch your mouth, you're deceiving yourself. You have got to watch your mouth. Right? You can think, I keep the Passover, I don't eat pork, I don't eat shrimp. If you're a woman, you think, well, I don't commit adultery. If you're a man, you think, well, I go to camp, I pay my tithes. If you can't watch your mouth, you're lying to yourself about how many rules you keep or how disciplined you are, because you can't watch your mouth. And watching your mouth saves your life. Continue.
God. This man's religion is vain.
There's all of the rules and the structure you have is for nothing. It will do you no good. It's just eat pork if you can't watch your mouth. Just eat pork and suck a crack pipe because you cannot watch your mouth. So it means everything else means nothing, because you're still going to be destroyed. You're still going to get yourself in problems that no one can get you out of because you cannot watch your mouth. Keep going.
Verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High.
Meaning, if you actually had rules, it would be pure. You would do everything. Skip down to where the tongue, this is not the one I want. This is a good one. I want the one, skip down is the tongue is a small member. That's the one I'm looking for. Small member. It's in James somewhere, unless I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Book of James, chapter 3, verse 5.
That's it. Go ahead.
Even so, the tongue is a little member.
The tongue is a little what?
It is a little member.
The tongue is a member, is a body part. That's what a member is. The tongue is a little member. It's small. Keep going.
Okay. And boasts great things.
But it boasts great things. As small as your tongue is, it talks a lot of mess. That little tongue, it boasts great things. Continue.
Okay. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
Behold, look at how great a matter a little fire can kindle. You ever see giant forest fires in Northern California? You know how 80% of them start? Somebody did not put out a fire that they made a pot of coffee with. They cooked a hot dog with out in the mountains. Some camper, he wanted to boil water for coffee. And instead of stomping it out, he didn't. And the entire forest burns down. Behold, what a great matter a little fire can kindle. Your mouth is small, but look at the fire. Look at the trouble it can start because you can't watch your mouth. Look at all of the death because you curse out somebody or someone curses out you because you say things that you shouldn't say. Look at it. Like, look at what happens. Look at how it starts. Not the giant forest fire, but look at the little campfire that someone forgot to put out before they left the water. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 6. And the tongue is a fire.
The tongue is a what?
Is a fire.
The tongue is a what?
It's a fire.
The tongue is a fire. That's what it is. The tongue is a fire. Keep going.
Okay. A world of iniquity.
A what?
A world of iniquity.
A world of iniquity. So much sin and destruction comes from your mouth. Now give me the one specifically to women. This is 1 Timothy, I think, 2:10, right?
Oh God. 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 10. Which cometh woman, professing godliness with good works.
We'll read again. One more verse above it and read again.
Oh God. 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 9. And like men, also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
One more verse above it.
Verse 8. I will therefore that men pray, wear lifting up holy hands without wrath.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Just like verse 7.
No, I think maybe 9. Let's just go to 9 then. I'll just break it down. Go ahead.
God. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 9. And like manner also, the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So this is a scripture the same way earlier we spoke about brothers who were religious or who had discipline, who were in the school. This is godly women. Godly women should adorn themselves in modest apparel, which is why sisters in the UPK dress the way they do, because they're godly women. They're not whores. Right? There's a way that a fireman dresses and a police officer dresses, and there's a way that a whore dresses. And then there's a way that a godly woman dresses. And a godly woman is no less attractive because she dressed in a modest clothing. Many times, every time, she's more beautiful because she's dressed modestly, humbly. Everybody understands. She's showing the world that she's not a whore. She's showing the world that she's a godly woman. Continue.
God. With shamefacedness.
With what?
With shamefacedness.
With shamefacedness. Like when the sisters in the UPK, when they're trying to get their Hebrew name and they getting that Imagim Shabbat and avert their eyes to the ground. Ooh, that's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. To see a woman that, averts her eyes to the ground and elbows all sharp in that Imagim Shabbat. Ooh, it is just absolutely beautiful. All right. She looks like a godly woman and she's beautiful. Continue.
God. And sobriety.
And sobriety. Sobriety means what? This is so important. You know what it means to be sober, right? Right? But here's what most of you might not know. You can be drunk off of emotions. Many women are drunk. They're not sober. Whether they're drinking or not, whether they're high or not, their brains, they don't think clearly. They don't think. Because they're constantly almost hyperventilating with emotions all the time. Mad, upset, angry, sad, hurt, happy, sad, constantly in a roller coaster of goddamn feelings. Well, behave yourself and look like you're sober. You have sobriety. This broad can think. She can think. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. You have a woman that has a brain that can actually think. That is very attractive. The world doesn't tell you how attractive it is because the world wants you to be a whore so they can use you and manipulate you and belittle you and degrade you. But a woman who thinks clearly, is beautiful. Continue.
Oh God. Not with braided hair.
Not with what?
Braided hair.
Meaning your beauty has nothing to do with how, big your hair is or how long your weave is. I'm sure you're of the Beyonce school of godliness, and you believe that how long your weave is means that you're important. I know you're under a lot of pressure. Women are under so much pressure to get bundles and bundles and bundles of hair, because the more hair they buy from the drain, from hair that was washed in a toilet in India. Did I show y'all that video where hair comes from? Oh, that's from the drain in India. That is not, all my life, I thought the Indian women were getting their hair cut off and selling it. In India, they go, because it's free, all of the hair that goes into the shower hole, in the drain of a shower, they go and take that hair from the sanitation department and sell it here in America. And that's the hair that's being sold in stores. Am I making this up? I am not. Someone Google it fast as you can so I can show everyone. It comes from the drains in India. That's their economy. Something that goes down the drain. You're going to go and buy this hair. And if you don't have this hair, you're really not important, are you? You don't matter because you don't have bundles and bundles of Indian toilet hair. So you're not important. You don't feel important. You don't feel like you have money and that, other women look at you with prestige. Well, your hair does not make you more important. The fact that you have the most glorious, Beyonce weave in the world does not mean that you're a godly woman. Keep going. Malak.
Article.
Go ahead.
It says, in the trade, they call this fallen hair or hair that has been pulled out of bushes.
Give me the video. If you can play it fast as you can, I prefer that. Do you have the video? He's getting it now. Keep going. What was reading? Go ahead. About Timothy. Go ahead.
Not with braided hair or gold or pearl.
Oh, or gold or pearls, because truly, if you don't have an expensive purse, the most expensive jewelry, the shoes with the red on the bottom of them, the Birkin bag, the this dress and the that dress and the this, you don't look like the first lady. You don't look like T.D. Jakes' wife without having the most expensive Chanel purses, dresses on, right? That doesn't make you a woman of God. doesn't mean you're important. Continue.
Or costly array.
Costly array is what I just talked about. Costly array is clothing. I mean, costly clothing means expensive clothing. Continue.
Affordable human hair extensions come from city drains. That's right. In
Verse 10. But which becometh woman, professing godliness with good works.
What becomes a woman? What makes a woman beautiful? Who professes godliness? Actions, bro. Actions. What you do. That's what says you're a godly woman. Because of what you do. That's what makes you godly. Not because you have a purse that's $5,000 or expensive shoes or bundles and bundles of toilet Indian hair. That doesn't make you important. What makes you important is what you do. Your actions make you important. Continue.
With good works.
With good works. Keep going.
Verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence.
Let her do what?
Learn in silence.
Let her learn in silence. Let her learn in silence. The only way to learn what to say is to learn what not to say. A woman needs to learn to shut her mouth, to be quiet, to shut up. Shut up in Popeyes. Go to McDonald's and shut the hell up. Shut your mouth. Walk into that McDonald's. They mess up your order. You know what you say? That's what I get for going to McDonald's. They messed up my order. I shouldn't even be in here. Should you? It's terrible for you, right? You're in here. You're expecting 5-star service in McDonald's. You know what? You're going to have to eat that $5 or that $2.50. Right? Eat it. Just say, that's what I get. I got gypped out of fries in here. Walk out the door and learn a lesson about life. You paid $1.25 to learn it. Do that, but shut your mouth. Brothers, you watch your woman. If I hear about your wife arguing in places, brother, I'm going to know that you're a punk. If I hear that your wife is in Popeyes and arguing, watch how your wife treats waitresses too, servants. That's a good sign with a woman are. Whenever she has a waitress, is this fork clean? She's sending back the food in every damn restaurant, looking at the forks and check. She's looking for a way to abuse every woman who comes around. So the minute someone comes and says, would you like fries with that? Who are you talking to? This fork is dirty. This and that. She argues with everybody in the CVS. She can't come in contact with people without getting in an argument. She's fired from 2 jobs because she argues on her job. I think your wife might be a bitch, y'all. I think that is what is happening with you. And I think that if that's the case, I think you are not providing what you must provide, or else you're an infidel, which is guidance, education. Teach her to shut her mouth. Continue.
With all subjection.
With what?
All subjection.
Listen, she's in there learning with her mouth shut with all subjection. Does that mean she can't ask questions? No, she absolutely should ask questions. Does that mean she can't say anything? It does not mean that. This is what she cannot do. Be opinionated and teach, which is what women do who are in the world. You can't tell them anything because the minute you tell them something, they're telling you something. The minute you say, well, you should stop this, well, you should stop that. You can't do that and be a woman of God. That's not how it works. You're going to have to shut your mouth. If you learn to shut your mouth, you'll live through the Popeyes. You'll live through the McDonald's incident. You won't get fired from every job because you argue with everyone who comes next to you all the time. Continue.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
But I suffer not a woman to teach. The word suffer means to stand it or to endure it. He does not endure a woman teaching. He doesn't endure that. He won't. A woman is not allowed to teach. Save all of your stupid opinions. They're just opinions. It's just something that you want. It's not based in anything good or right or decent or godly. It is just you having an opinion about a thing. Treat it like it's not important. Continue.
Nor to usurp authority over the man.
Usurp authority means to take authority over a man. This scripture means it's unlawful for women to be preachers, for women to be women of God that are over churches and to do things like that. You're not allowed to do that. Keep going.
But but to be in silence.
Yeah, but to be in what?
Silence.
But to be in what?
Silence.
Shut your mouth, right? That's the key. Shut your mouth. It's so liberating because you'll learn how unimportant your thoughts are. You think your thoughts are important. They're not important. You're not dropping anything heavy on anybody. You're not saying anything of importance. What do you think? You're going to end the war in Palestine with your effing mouth? You're not. Nothing important comes out of your mouth at all. You'll learn that because you'll stop talking, and you know what will happen? The world will go on without your voice. All right, good job.
Did you know that most affordable human hair extensions come from city drains? That's right. In India, workers actually collect hair from public drains and plug holes. They clean and treat this hair, making it look nice and shiny. But the truth is, it's not virgin hair. It's straight from the drains. This is the only reason human hair extensions are still affordable. Otherwise, they would all cost thousands of dollars. It's a hidden secret of the beauty industry, and many don't know about it. What do you think? Would you still buy them knowing this? Share your...
With that, pass over to Captain Akai.
What we got? Corrupt. I.S.U.P.K security announcement. Before you do that, Uncle Charles, before you do that, say it's on the roster there. Oh, come. I got the two high men on voting with me. Give me a minute. Sit right here. Let me know for a second. Hey. And here in the Israelite schools, universal practical knowledge under command of GEN.YAHANNA, hard work pays off, man. Hard work pays off, man. Preaching on God, God is excellent brother, is true, hard working brother, man. And if I could, Slock, let's do a picture. Come, sir. Mahayamanan is an excellent brother, man. Hard working, and been hard working since he came into the truth. To share a story, man, when I came into this truth, I'll tell you, Malaki will tell you, I came up with this brother. And this brother, you gotta be an excellent example. You gotta be how to be a brother, how to be a priest, and how to be an excellent soldier. And today I vow is your day. You will no longer, brother, be an officer of 500. But today, in the command of GEN.YAHANNA, you will be raised up to an officer of 1,000. That's right.
Sometimes, sir, if I could, again, just to elaborate on what obviously the guy was saying, everybody knows I buy. You understand? When it comes to the diligence of the Most High and his service to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I don't watch this brother completely change. Like, this is where we say in the truth, you know, the Lord, if it's time for the Lord to call you, that's it. You understand? I understood the assignment.
That's right.
You understand? I understood the assignment. You understand? The Lord's servant, his servant. You understand? That's what I been. You understand? I serve like there's no other. If anybody, you understand, anybody coming up, this brother is the perfect example of someone who, you know, came into the truth and realized his position. You understand? And again, this brother deserves his rank, which I feel as though is way overdue. But again, this is on the Lord's time. And that's why I'm going to say congratulations to my brother.
Precept.
No, what y'all saying is absolutely true. I mean, since the first time I went to Kent with him, when we walked in to go get the water, just seeing how he moved around me. You understand? He moved like he been here before. You understand? So like everybody saying is absolutely accurate. You understand? Come on, sir. You got to say.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my body right now. I'm trying to get down here. Everybody know Abad is an excellent brother, man. I had to come all the way downstairs just to say something on Abad's behalf. I love you, man. Y'all know, man, Abad, he's a very strong brother, man. Like, he put in so much work. And he, y'all know this. I don't think they know this, right?
Right.
Abad, he came in during the last Hebrew Academy.
Right.
And he came in, and he was on time. He was there before all the brothers. He was there for all the brothers. Forget what time it was, man. It was early. Had to be like 6 something in the morning. I bought out there in the Madra Shabbat. Me, Captain Akai out there, he was trying to get in, but he was such a new brother that he couldn't get in the academy, man. And Abad, he always had that same spirit. He kept that same spirit up. I tried to rush down here. I gotta say something, man. So Abad, he's an excellent brother, always in the spirit of brotherhood. It's not anybody else got anything. If I could, so just a minute up here. We're gonna say the anointing prayer. Yamaraki Yahweh.
Yamaraki Yahweh.
Wayashamaraka.
Wayashamaraka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Hun Yahweh.
Hun Yahweh.
Al
Yahweh.
Wayakunka. Yeshar Yahweh.
Yeshar Yahweh.
Hun Yahweh.
Hun Yahweh.
Al Yahweh. Wayashamlaka.
Wayashamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Agun.
Agun.
Abaya.
Abaya. Abaya. Abaya.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
The one
Aman.
We said in English was Yahweh keep thee and bless thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh in the name Yahweh shall bless, he'll shield, protect. All right. Oh, Slocky, did we get him with the oil? Osai Christ. All right. With that being said, who the Shamar? As you, Slocky. Osai Christ. With that being said, we're gonna pass the class over the priest and officer, Matham Yah.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. Go to I.S.U.P.K. Start at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Who for new brother and sister? When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shake themselves with the word. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must give permission from the heads of marriage to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the heads of marriage. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers, you can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means accepting the Hebrew I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount of like upcoming holy convocations, we got the Peace of Pure Run coming up the 22nd of February. The land's on a Friday of 2024 this year. So I can and you can find it in Esther in the book in the Apocrypha in the book of Esther, in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. So if a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, in the ritual imagine, which means stand. Are you going to repeat after me? All right. So, all right. Men of Israel, imagine. Barak.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barak.
That's the top. Sorry, which means turn to the all right, sisters, imagine, which means stand. All right, men of Israel, don't give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. I must.
Yahweh Shema, done by Shem Yahushua.